people around you. Then you're going to walk a fullness of life that you've never tasted. This is the burning issue that has been on my mind and heart for so many months. You stand up in church and talk about it, and you run the risk that people think, here's another pastor asking for money. Or I'm judging the decisions you make in your home. You know what I'm doing this morning? I'm obeying God. I believe for a lot of us, we find God compelling. We love who Jesus is, who he presents himself to be, the real God of the Scriptures. There's been a buzz in our church in this space of love conversation. But the nagging issue that remains underneath is that I think I can't walk in that love because something else has my heart. Here's how this story goes. It's tragic. Jesus says, go and sell all that you have and give it to the poor, and then come follow me. Then come become. If you're close to me, following me, you'll become who you are not. When the young man heard this, he became very sad. Mark's account says that his face fell. Because he was very wealthy. And he quietly walks away from Jesus. Our story does not have to end the way this man's story ended. There is something in your spirit where these words of God resonate in you. The thought of having to unload something to be free. Maybe we need to entertain that. Maybe we need to unload what is really a burden. It looks nice to the neighbors. There are some nights we come home and we feel status. Maybe we need to grapple with being free. Maybe it's a person, or like I said, a career, or some toy, or some dream that really has the affections of your heart more than anything else. Jesus says, I want you to have eternal life. That's why I came. I want you to walk in love. But you can't. You can't until you give everything to your rescuer, the one who knows what fullness of life is for you. So here's my challenge today. I'm going to give you a week to think about this. I really am. We could do something dramatic right now and ask you to make some kind of statement. Or I grew up in a church where people were put on the spot with decisions and things, and there was so much distraction in it. I would rather us have some time to really contemplate this before God. So this is what we're going to do. Next Sunday, I am talking about the way Jesus prescribes in the New Testament Scriptures, us making the statement that we have surrendered everything to him. That we've given him control. It doesn't mean we're perfect. He's our guide, and he's going to walk with us, and when we stumble, he's going to pick us up, and he's going to continue to teach us. But it means we've surrendered everything to him. Our house belongs to him. Our house is about his plans. The way we spend our money, the dreams, our career, our retirement plans, it's all about his plan. I've surrendered everything, my relationships. Jesus tells us there's a way that he wants us to make that statement that we've done it, and it's baptism. Baptism in water. And many, many people in the New Testament were baptized in water as a statement. And not always did words come out of their mouth. But next Sunday, I'm going to explain, and I'm asking every single one of you to be here, regardless of where you are in your journey with Christ, to know him. Unless you're out of town or you have a very firm, serious commitment, I'm asking you to try to move things around to be here next Sunday as we as a family, as a community, talk about this statement. I think there are quite a few people who've been baptized in various places or over the years, and they still don't really understand it exactly. They just did it because they were supposed to. We're going to talk about why. And it is fun, and it's raucous. It's one of the highlights of Dulles Community Church throughout our year. And it is the statement that says, I have given him everything. He rescued me from myself, from my mistakes in my past, and he has earned control of my life. That's what baptism means. I'm going to talk it out in more detail. I'm going to give us all a week to think about this, and next Sunday I'm going to ask you to come be a part of this conversation. And we're going to talk about, we have one coming up in about a month. And that might be challenging for you, but I'm going to ask you next Sunday to seriously consider taking this step. And some of you might need to do it again because there was a day where he had your heart, but then you gave it to something else. My brother was baptized twice. He wandered from God for a few years and then came back and said, I want to say it again because he's my first love again. God, I pray that these words this morning somehow are your words. You know, if I've said anything to confuse things or that aren't clear, I pray that your Spirit has made them clear in spite of me. We live for so much, especially in this area, and I think we have a burden here, God. We have an added burden of competing